Yes, my dears, and welcome to my delicious channel. Today, I'm cooking chicken chop suey with various vegetables. However, chop suey is not a traditional Chinese dish, but was invented at some point by a Chinese person in the United States of America. Nevertheless, this dish is also extremely popular here. That's why today I'm gonna show you how I prepare my chicken chop suey. I've already prepared everything, washed and cut everything into small pieces. By the way, at this point, chop suey literally means cut into small pieces. So I have 400 grams of chicken here, then a lot of different kinds of vegetables like beans, carrots, broccoli, bell peppers, mushrooms, zucchini, mung bean sprouts, and mole mushrooms. Of course, you first need to pour hot water over them and let them soak for about 10 minutes so they expand and become really soft. Then we also need some garlic and green onions. I'm not going to give exact measurements here because depending on how many different types of vegetables you have, you'll use more or less of each kind. For me, it's always just enough to fit into one pan. I've divided the vegetables onto 2 plates depending on their cooking time. Because some things take a little longer, so they go into the pan first and the others just a bit later. Of course, you can vary the types of vegetables. It doesn't have to be this much, just use whatever you like. Alright, let's get started and first make a simple marinade for the meat. For that, you'll need about half a teaspoon of salt and some pepper, a bit of the garlic, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Mix all of that well and let it sit for a bit. In the meantime, we'll also prepare the sauce. For that, you'll need half a teaspoon of salt, pepper, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of Chinese rice wine, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, a heaping teaspoon of brown sugar, a teaspoon of vegetable broth. There is vegetable broth both with flavor enhancers and without flavor enhancers. Then, optionally, half a teaspoon of sambal oelek. Finally, add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. First, dissolve it in half a glass of cold water and then add it. Finally, mix everything well. Then we'll start by frying the chicken until it's really well cooked. That's especially important with chicken. After that, I put it on a plate and set it aside for a moment. Now add a bit of oil to the pan again and first put in the garlic and green onions. Saute briefly. And then add the first plate of vegetables. Fry. And add a little water so that it cooks quickly. Now the second plate as well. First, just the mushrooms and the zucchini from that. A bit of water again. You can also put the lid on and let it simmer for a while until it reaches the perfect level of doneness for you. Because some people like it really crunchy, I prefer it a bit softer and more cooked through, but you can just see and decide for yourself how long you want to let it simmer. Now, as the last step, you can also add the mung bean sprouts and morella mushrooms, because they don't need to cook for very long. At the end, just pour in our prepared sauce. Stir everything well and bring it to a boil, then the sauce will also become thick. Finally, add the chicken and our delicious chop suey dish is ready. Yum yum. You can nicely arrange that on a plate and serve it with some rice. Enjoy your meal. Of course, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.